When I was a small child, we had a time machine. I kept saying, "Are we then yet?" I always had an inquiring mind. One night I stayed up all night to see where the sun went. Then it dawned on me. I remember one day when my mother was giving me a bath. I pointed at my testicles. "Are these my brains?" I asked. "Not yet," she replied. Even as a baby I had a thirst for knowledge. I learned that nappies, like politicians, should be changed frequently, and for much the same reason. And when I started school, that same thirst for knowledge drove me on. I learned the most important principle of chemistry. Never lick the spoon. I was an avid reader. I found a book on anti-gravity. I couldn't put it down. Even though I was a gifted child, my parents made sure I kept both feet firmly on the ground. It was impossible to get my trousers on. Every morning I walked along the side of a steep hill to school, and every afternoon came home the same way. By the time I left school, both my legs were shorter than the other one. It seemed unlikely that orthopedic shoes would help, but I stand corrected. There was a farm on the side of that hill. The farmer had 249 sheep, and sometimes I helped him to round them up. 250, I said. I remember, many years ago, throwing a boomerang. Since then, I've lived in constant fear. The learning process continued as I passed through puberty. I learned that some mistakes are too much fun to only make once. I learned that people who smoke after sex are doing it too fast. I almost had a psychic girlfriend, but she left me before we met. I learned how important it is to seize the day, but I keep seizing the wrong one. For a while, I was addicted to brake fluid, but I knew I could stop any time. And I learned that crime in multi-storey car parks is wrong on so many levels. I used to go on pub crawls with the local Tai Chi society. It took us weeks to get drunk. And early in life, I learned that money talks. It says, "Goodbye." And there was always some month left at the end of the money. I opened a bank account and I needed a password 8 characters long. I chose Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I tried a number of careers. I could see myself working in a mirror factory. I was a mime artist for a while, but it didn't work out. I think it was something I said. And now I'm growing old, and still I'm learning. I've moved to the suburbs where they cut the trees down and named the streets after them. I've learned that chopsticks are why the Chinese never invented custard. I know that when inserting jam into a lady's nostrils, the considerate gentleman always warms a spoon. It's easier to sharpen a worm when it's been in the freezer for a while. I've learned never to take a sleeping tablet and a laxative on the same night. I've learned that no matter how much you push the envelope, it'll always be stationary. And the difference between an oral and a rectal thermometer is in the taste. I always whistle while sitting on the loo. It reminds me which end to wipe. I've come to believe in a world of freedom, where chickens can cross the road and not have their motives questioned. I always try to make people feel at home. Sometimes I wish they were. Through all my life, I've treasured the anticipation of future nostalgia. And through all my life, I've always wanted to be someone. Perhaps I should have been more specific. As we age, we grow wiser. But now I know my way around, I'm not going anywhere. I've learned to respect my elders, but I can't find any. I make mental notes, but the ink fades. I've seen it all, done it all, and I can't remember any of it.